Welcome back. We now give you the details of the top stories. I'm Randolf Jamias. In honor of 65th anniversary Independence Day, President U Sen and wife Dokun Kiwin hosted a gala dinner held at the lawn of Presidential Palace in Naypyidaw on 4th January. The president and wife greeted the chairman of political parties, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps Singapore Ambassador to Myanmar, Robert Chua, diplomats and resident representatives of UN agencies. It was also attended by Vice Presidents Dr. Sama Kam and Unyan Tun, Pito Luto Speaker Turo Ushweman, Amita Luto Speaker Uki Ami, Union Chief Justice Utuntun U, Commander-in-Chief of Defense Services, Vice Senior General Min Aung Hlaing, Union Election Commission Chairman Utin A, Deputy Commander-in-Chief of Defense Services, Commander-in-Chief Army, General Sowin, the Deputy Speakers of Pito Luto and Amita Luto, General Lamin Win of the Office of Commander-in-Chief Army, the Union Ministers, the Union Attorney General, the Union Auditor General, the Chairman of Union Civil Service Board, senior military officers, the Chairman and Secretaries of Luto Committees, Naypyidaw Command Commander, the Deputy Ministers, and officials. At the dinner, the vocalists, with the accompaniment of Myanmar Radio Modern Music Troupe, entertained the guests. In related news, 65th anniversary Independence Day was observed with the national objectives: all the national people to live together in the Union through thick and thin, all the national people to constantly safeguard non-disintegration of the Union, non-disintegration of national solidarity and perpetuation of sovereignty, all the national people to participate in the task for bringing about genuine, eternal peace, putting an end to the armed conflicts, and to make efforts in building a modern, developed, and democratic nation, to better serve public interest, to ensure poverty reduction, and bring about legislative, administrative, and judicial pillars. In a celebration of 65th anniversary Independence Day, the state flag hoisting and saluting ceremony took place in Naypyidaw on 4th January. It was attended by Chairman of the Central Committee for organizing the 65th anniversary Independence Day, the patron of the committee for this event, and the Vice President of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, Dr. Sama Kam, the Deputy Speakers of Pito Luto and Amita Luto, the senior military officers of the Ministry of Defense, the Union Ministers and Deputy Ministers, department heads, and invited guests, totaling over 3,000. At 4:20 a.m., the state flag hoisting platoon hoisted the state flag. The state flag saluting ceremony started at 7 a.m., and the Guard of Honor, Army, Navy, and Air marched and took designated position at the square. When Vice President Dr. Sama Kam arrived at the square, he received the salute of the Guard of Honor. While the Vice President and the attendees saluted the state flag, the Guard of Honor played the national anthem. They saluted the fallen heroes and recited the 4 oaths. Vice President Dr. Sama Kam read out the Independence Day message sent by President Aga Mahataye Sidu Aga Mahatiri Tudama Utensen. Vice President Dr. Samuel Kam received the salute of the Guard of Honor and left the venue. In celebration of the 65th anniversary Independence Day, the lights were lit at night at the ministries in Naypyidaw City Hall, the Roundabout, James Museum, Jade Garden, Naypyidaw Myanmar Market, Tapegon Market, and staff housing. Also in the news, to mark the 65th anniversary Independence Day on 4th January, the sports events and fun fairs were held across the nation. The inter-ministry sports events were held at Training Center 1 in Naypyidaw. Chairman of Myanmar National Sports Committee, Union Minister for Sports Utisan, Deputy Minister Utan Taik, and officials enjoyed the events and presented prizes to the winning teams in sepak takraw, futsal, and tug-of-war. Sports events and fun fairs were also held in respective schools and sports grounds. The union ministers, the deputy ministers, and responsible personnel enjoyed the events held at their respective venues and presented prizes to the winners. The same events also went to the basic education schools, the staff housings, wards, and village tracts, respectively. The National Landmark Gardens, Zoological Garden, and Water Fountain Garden were packed with visitors. In the same news, 65th Anniversary Independence Day State Flag Hoisting and Saluting Ceremony was held at the People's Square in Yangon on 4th January. At 4:20 a.m., the state flag hoisting platoon raised the state flag. Yangon Region Chief Minister Umi Sui saluted the state flag, the fallen heroes, and recited the 4 oaths. He later read out the Independence Day message sent by the President. To mark the Independence Day, fun fairs and sports events were held at respective townships of Yangon region. The officials enjoyed the events and gave away prizes. Yangon Mayor Ulami also enjoyed the festivities and sports events of Yangon City Development Committee and presented prizes to the winners. At night, the colorful lights were also lit at respective offices to mark the Independence Day. Being a public holiday, Yangon Zoological Gardens, Kandoji Freshwater Aquarium, Kando Mingala Park, and People's Square were crowded with locals and visitors alike. More news are coming up. Please stay tuned.